Understanding the Big Bang and the nature of time. The question, was there time before the Big Bang, challenges our deepest understanding of both time and the universe itself. The Big Bang theory, widely accepted in modern cosmology, proposes that the universe began from an extremely hot, dense point around 13.8 billion years ago and has been expanding ever since. But this explanation primarily concerns the evolution of the universe after that point, not what, if anything, came before it. To ask about before the Big Bang introduces a paradox, because time itself, at least in the way we understand it, might have begun with the Big Bang. In classical physics, time is a continuous and absolute quantity, but in modern physics, especially in Einstein's theory of general relativity, time is not independent of space. Rather, it is part of a four-dimensional fabric called spacetime, which can stretch, bend, and even break under extreme conditions. The Big Bang is thought to be one such extreme condition, possibly marking the boundary beyond which time itself ceases to have meaning. Therefore, the question is not merely about chronology, it is a question about the nature of time, space, and reality itself. The scientific perspective, what modern cosmology suggests from the standpoint of standard cosmology, time and space began with the Big Bang. They did not exist before it. According to the equations of general relativity, as we trace the expansion of the universe backward in time, the density and temperature of the universe increase without bound, approaching a singularity, a point of infinite density where the laws of physics as we know them break down. At this singularity, time as a measurable dimension ceases to function. However, many physicists believe that the singularity is not a real physical state, but rather a sign that general relativity is incomplete. In the search for a deeper understanding, theories such as quantum gravity have emerged. One notable approach is the Hartle-Hawking no-boundary proposal, developed by James Hartle and Stephen Hawking. According to this model, the universe did not emerge from a singular point, but from a smooth, finite boundary in space-time, effectively meaning that the universe is self-contained and has no edge or beginning in the traditional sense. In this model, the concept of before the Big Bang simply doesn't apply because time behaves more like a spatial dimension near the origin of the universe. Just as there is no point north of the North Pole, there is no time before the Big Bang in this framework. Speculative theories, could there be a before? Despite the traditional view, several modern theoretical models propose that there could have been something before the Big Bang. These models come from attempts to unify general relativity with quantum mechanics, something that has not yet been fully achieved. One such theory is loop quantum cosmology (QC), which replaces the Big Bang with a big bounce. According to this idea, the universe did not begin from a singularity, but contracted from a previously existing universe, reaching a minimum size and then bounced outward into the expanding universe we see today. In this scenario, time existed before the Big Bang, but it belonged to a completely different cosmic phase. Similarly, the ekpyrotic model, inspired by string theory, suggests that our universe resulted from the collision of higher, dimensional, branes in a multidimensional space. Each collision leads to a new Big Bang, potentially part of an eternal cycle. In such models, time is not bound to our universe's beginning. Instead, it stretches indefinitely into the past through a sequence of cosmic events. However, it's important to note that these ideas are currently speculative and not confirmed by direct observational evidence. Philosophical and metaphysical interpretations, the question of time before the Big Bang is not purely scientific. It also touches on deep philosophical and metaphysical questions. In classical metaphysics, time is often treated as either an eternal backdrop, in which all events occur, or as something that begins with change itself. Thinkers like Immanuel Kant argued that time is not an external entity but a form of human perception, a way we structure our experience of phenomena. In this light, asking what came before the Big Bang might be as meaningless as asking what is north of the North Pole. Others, such as theologians or spiritual philosophers, have taken the idea of a temporal beginning to imply the need for a timeless cause, such as a divine creator. Still, many modern philosophers of science take a more agnostic view, suggesting that our current conceptual tools, both linguistic and cognitive, may simply be inadequate for answering such questions. We are creatures bound to the flow of time, trying to understand a condition where time might not even exist. Thus, any conclusion about before the Big Bang may be less about the universe and more about the limits of human understanding. Limits of knowledge and the future of inquiry. In conclusion, the question, was there time before the Big Bang, remains one of the most profound and mysterious in all of science and philosophy. While the dominant view in modern physics suggests that time itself began with the Big Bang, alternative theories provide intriguing possibilities for a pre-Big Bang reality. Whether the universe bounced, cycled, or emerged from a higher dimensional space, we currently lack the empirical data to confirm or deny such hypotheses. Technological advances, such as the detection of gravitational waves or further insights from quantum physics, may someday provide clues about the earliest moments of the cosmos. Until then, we must accept a degree of uncertainty, and perhaps even humility, in the face of such a vast, complex question. Asking what came before time may ultimately reshape how we define existence, causality, and the very meaning of beginning. Whether the answer lies in physics, metaphysics, or somewhere in between, the journey to explore this question continues to push the boundaries of human knowledge.